Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your support. We are going to change gears a little bit here, and I'm going to show you an artillery replay. I don't do a whole lot of these. I've loaded into Paris, which is not the most arty-friendly map, in a 3-5-7 battle in my M53-55 Tier 9 American artillery. So you'll see that I am positioning myself here in the northeast corner. The thing about artillery is finding a position at which you can support the majority of the map. On some maps you might want to go to a place where you can get an early shot on early lights, and that may not be the best position for the rest of the game, in which point you'll need to shift. The point of that discussion is that you do need to move with arty. You will enhance your capability in arty if you actually move around a bit and look for better lanes of fire. On Paris, you can see that if you look down in the bottom right to the minimap, the north portion with the open field, you'll find enemy artillery back in here a lot of times, potentially back at their cap. This little hill will have scouts and mediums, and there's usually some TDs, maybe even heavy or medium sitting here on this corner here. Often lights will try to get up into this little spot here, which is a little pile of rubble, so that they can spot around the corner. There are some bushes on either side, so you'll see scouts come from both sides on occasion. Seeing as I know all of that, and I know this fight isn't going to develop down here for a while, I am ready to fire into the field. So I'll look at that little hill. That's what I talked about earlier. Sometimes a scout will get crazy and fire early and get spotted. And here comes the lightweight. Because we don't have any of our scouts pushing up right here, I don't expect to get any lights over here. These guys are doing a fine job of seeing this one who's running out in the open, and he is actually going for that piece of rubble that I talked about. He's doing a good job of jinking, but because of the splash, I am able to hit him and track him, and now he gets hammered. And that is something that artillery can do now, especially with the splash. It is extremely deadly to light tanks. Even as they have speed, the splash is going to catch them quite a bit. This M41 is going to make a mistake. Either he doesn't know he's lit or he's mistiming it, because he's going to pop up right here, back up, and he's going to come towards this corner, which lets me know his intentions. Even though he goes dark, I just wait. I suspect he's probably going to poke. He sure does. I'll fire, hit him, and you'll see that on my last shot and on this shot, I do move. Counter artillery is not that common, but it is a bummer if you don't move and get hit. So in between, you'll note I did it last time. I'm just kind of looking back here for any tracers. I get unlucky because they are indeed all back in there. At least two of them are. And now you can see that I have shifted over to the south part of the map, and because of where I've positioned myself, I actually have shots down this road. So again, with arty, it's all about your positioning. And that really is with anything in the game. So I'm going to get two guys here. I actually shift over just so I can kind of splash both those dudes. And I end up with over 500, maybe around 600 points of damage. A little late on the reposition there. I should have moved quickly, or more quickly. And since I know I have shots, I'm not going to change where I'm aiming too much. You'll see how I kind of spun around right there. That's a problem with that oblique view of the G key. That view right there. If you're still in that view, after you go back to your tank to first person, and then try to get back to the artillery view, you'll still be in the oblique view, and you'll get that little dance that I had right there because it's hard to control. So you need to make sure you go back to straight top-down mode. End up shooting that guy. I make a mistake there knocking down that lamp post. That's something that the other arty would be looking for to get an idea of where you are. And once again, I go into that kind of goofiness with the G oblique view. The Sturv is sort of just camping there. He's able to bounce a lot of shots where he sits, but he's going to leave me a little sliver to go after him. I wish I had actually aimed a little bit closer, or a little bit short, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because I end up hitting long and splashing him off the wall right there. Now I can see that our tanks are into their northwest corner, finding their TDs and their artillery. The 53-55 is over there now. I sit there for a moment, but I'm not reloaded, so I actually let him go because I figure the CDC and the grill are going to kill him. I wish I'd have gone straight over to the RHM and waited for him. Because eventually I do, but I actually have to wait a little longer than I want to get this shot. I'm still waiting, and then he goes away. I'll take the shot, but he actually ended up backing up. Unfortunately, I do splash him, but I don't get the direct hit that I wanted. So light skin tanks, light tanks, and light skin tanks like the RHM are going to take the most damage from Artie and are probably your best targets, all else being equal. Obviously situational, but if you have a choice and you want some hit points, those are the guys to go after. Now I've got some fairly heavy tanks left right here. The 4 that they have left have repositioned, or for right now I do have shots in here. Not the easiest of shots. I'll lob that in there and I actually end up splashing both those guys. And now I've really got to reposition here. I think about it for a moment and then I get on my horse and start moving, but they will die before I can get in position. That is something else that if you're trying to maximize your, just let it go here, if you're trying to maximize your damage done and your experience in an Artie, at the end of a game like this one where you've got them well outnumbered, and I should have done this early, get on your horse and get up and try to blap them in the face, because you'll get a lot more experience if you are right there spotting those guys as well, as opposed to sharing it all. And I will not get there. So I end up with the top experience, number 2 in damage on this. It ends up being good for SPG 8. I did my best for the T55A. So even on a city map with decent positioning and knowledge of the battle flow and what the meta is on the map, you can actually be quite effective even now in Artie. I hope this helps. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe. We will see you.